How do? Welcome back to Edgar TV, day one of European Q School. I'm going to be covering Q School all the way through, so if you're struggling to watch it because you're at work or you just want it reported with all the stories coming to life because you don't know who to be looking for or the players to be doing, just hit that subscribe button. One, it'll help me get to my 100,000 subscriber goal where I'll get a YouTube plaque, but also it'll give you all the access to everything you need right here on Edgar TV. And when I'm looking through the European Q School here in the early rounds, there's something that stands out to me, and that is in regards to from the UK. Now, the UK will come up in a separate video, this one the European, and it's the range of performance. In the UK, we tend to find that the top standard's very similar, but you'll see here that actually the range of performance in the European, the bottom end is more inflated, shall we say. We've got players here you'll see averaging 43, we've had a 30 average, we've got a 46 there, 50s. So I'd say the bottom end of the European isn't quite as strong, where we know the top end certainly is. Couple of surprise defeats here. Zanti Vandenberg, the relative of Dimitri Vandenberg, someone who played on the WF circuit last year and picked up some titles and was kind of one to keep an eye out for a lot of people, but he's gone out in round number one. Marcel Althus, probably pronouncing that terrible, also known as Marcel Scorpion, very popular YouTuber over in Germany. Got a darts channel as well, very, very popular, one of the most subscribed to channels in the world. That comes off the back of his gaming success. Certainly getting better at his darts as well, going down 5-4 there to Dirk Telnikers, an ex-PDC tour card holder. And all we're doing at the moment is just flying through, looking for those surprises. I mean, there's players in here like Oscar Lacasiak, who played on the tour last year and did quite well. Rusty Jake Rodriguez, another ex-tour card holder. Kenny Nyans from Belgium, good players. But we're looking for the shocks like Ron Meulenkamp, player who's played in multiple world championships, going down 5-2 to Marco Cantelli, who recently picked up a title in Ireland, booking himself a place at Lakeside. This guy here, Daniel, I'm not even going to pronounce the second name, quality guy, is an absolute monster, absolute beast of a man. Take a look at this. He's a bodybuilder from Romania, good dart player as well. Very ambitious in what he wants to do, one to keep an eye on at this stage of the tournament, because I tell you what, if he puts his mind to it, look what he's capable of in regards to his own personal development. So just imagine what he's going to do when he gets a bit more experience on the dartboard as well. Now, both the UK and the European Q School points do not come into play until there is a round where no buys have been given, so it needs to have a complete round. So winning that first one, getting to last 2, 5, 6 doesn't get you into the points. It is getting through to the last 128. That is where the first point is going to be given. The points will then make up an order of merit for those players. 8 players will be guaranteed to get themselves through to stage 2. Stage 2 is where the tour cards are given out, not here in stage number 1. Let's take a look at the last 256 then. So who's going to be booking their players. Now, there's a couple of big performers here. Benjamin Pratnamar played a couple of WDF World Championships and on the PDC side as well. Good player, averaging nearly 100 there, beating Damien Moll. That was probably a game neither was looking forward to. Tingström and Osland, 2 players from Sweden. Osland, one in my 10 to watch out for. He picks up a good victory there, 5-1 against my namesake, Edgar. Good name, that guy. But didn't produce the good darts there against Osland, and he goes out by 5 legs to 1. Again, I think what you'll find when you're just scrolling through the results is that range of performance that we're talking about. Loads of sort of mid to low 70s, 60s in there, 50s in there. Liam Mandel Lawrence was at one point the slowest dart player in the world. 5-0 defeat there in a performance that hasn't quite up to the levels we know that he's capable of, certainly when he's been playing on things like the European Tour. Krzysztof Kachuk of Poland, at one point a tour card holder of the thumb. It's 2 performances now, because he didn't really perform in round 1, but he's picking up the wins. Denny Older Coulter, someone I'm surprised has not ever had a tour card yet. Maybe this is going to be the year he does. He's always one of those dangerous, consistent types, but just never quite put it together for long enough. Kai Gotthard played at the World Championships, got a win down there, runner-up at the World Masters. Again, another one to keep an eye on. Brian Raman played well when he played at the WF World Championships. 2 performances there where he's had to go to a last leg and has not yet produced his best stuff. Both of his averages in the 70s, but he's in and he's got wins on the board. Jarno Bottenberg, the man who took me out at Lakeside this year, played well in game 1. Not so much there, but he doesn't care. He's got the win, and that's the thing. The experienced players coming through. Rusty Jake, Oscar Lacassia, Daniel again there picking up a win. He's in the points. Cord Decker of Norway, one to keep an eye on. I tell you what, if you haven't seen him yet, he's got some height. Very, very tall guy. Just like Ben Robb of New Zealand, someone a lot of people will be keeping an eye on. Wins an awful lot over in New Zealand. Has one of the best win rates of anybody in the world. So certainly one to watch out for. Max Hopp at one point was Germany's shining light, a big hope for their darts campaigns. Didn't quite materialise for him, does a lot of commentary work at the moment, but he's out there trying to get his tour card back. Good start for him with a 5-0 victory. And one thing he's got is a little bit of name power, and I think that really does play into account when, again, we're looking at some of these averages. Some of the people just aren't going to perform when they're taking on a name. And if you are enjoying this channel, you're enjoying my content, you're enjoying what I'm doing, there are other channels you can catch me on, most notably the Mission Darts YouTube channel, where we offer some coaching tips, we offer some different sort of content on there, where we're out and about, we're doing podcasts, we're doing Rate My Hockey, where we travel around the whole of the UK, we're hoping to take that worldwide, where we're going around finding the best darts venues, the best darts shops that are out there in the UK, and again, something we're hoping to take worldwide. What we need to be able to do that is some subscribers. Hop over there, hop the subscribe on there if that's something you're interested in. I'll put the link down in the description below. So the round of the last 1 to 8, the losers of this round will pick up 1 point, the winners will go through with 2, and there's not going to be many points needed on this European stage to get through to the next level, because I don't think we're going to get too many people battling it out with those points. Depending on the draw, I don't see too many players consistently picking up points. Now, this is where we look at the average. This is what I've been saying is what you need. 6 visits to the board, 93.93 takes on an 83.50. That is the sort of bit that you need to be in at Q School. Now, in the UK Q School, 5 players beat the standard of the top end, the 16 dart, 93.93. Only 2 players did it in the European at this point. Marcel Otter, 5-0 victory with a 95. And Benjamin Pratnamar, who we've already spoken about in this video, someone who's played on both World Championship stages, 97.90, and that's it, just those 2. There was a couple of people who came close, sort of 93, 92, but one thing is for sure is at this stage of Q School in Europe, it does appear that it's just a little bit lower than that we get in the UK. Who's going to cash in today and be one of those 8 players guaranteed through to stage 2, where it does get much trickier because there's some big players waiting in the wings. Interesting scenario could develop here. Benjamin Pratnamar beating Sweden's Victor Tingström and Anton Osland winning board 2. So these are your board finals, which means that Pratnamar and Osland will play each other in the next round, so Pratnamar a chance to do the double. WF means win and forfeit. Marcel Otter, who was one of the top performers in the last round, he gets a bye through to the next stage, and he will get the points as well, despite the fact he didn't have to win that game. It's not one of those situations now where you don't get the points for the bye. Now you do, should anything come your way. Kai Gotthard, I'm sure, is one of those players that a lot of people are expecting to get through this due to the performance he played at the back end of 2024. Brian Roman just hasn't started yet in regards to what we know he's capable of, but he's winning, and that's all he's going to care about. Sweden, a very big developing nation. Oscar Lacassia, one of the flag bearers of that. Andreas Harrison waiting in the wings as well from Sweden. But no real surprises in this round. Max Hopp, a good performance around about the 90 average there against Jack Shepherd of Australia, who also does a bit of YouTube himself. Now, one of the real big stories of Q School this year is that none of the UK or European Q Schools feature an American player. Now, that could be down to 2 things. One, the travelling and the cost, and having to relocate. We see people like Simon Whitlock, Damon Heta, Danny Baggish when he got a tour card, relocating to the UK, and maybe people don't want to do that. But also, maybe what this is doing on secondary inspection is it's actually highlighting the development of darts within America at the moment, with the CDC and the opportunities that players are getting to get into the Grand Slam, to get into the World Championship. Maybe they're just choosing to play on home soil now rather than coming over to the UK to try and get that tour card, and maybe that bridge will eventually be gap. The gap will be bridged, shall we say, in regards to the levels between the two, because they're developing some serious players. One player did travel though, that was David Cameron. He came over from Canada, but he has gone out at this stage. 5-1 to Max Hopp. Good performance again for Max Hopp, getting up to the top end of what I believe the Q School standard is. Anton Osland did go down to Benjamin Pratnamar, who's done the Swedish double. Gilbert van der Meijden getting over the average of what I think the top end of Q School is, and he's the only person who does so in that round. Kai Gotthard did, but went down by 5 legs to 4 in an all-German affair. But things starting to take a little bit of shape now. The last 16, that's the round where you're pretty much in regards to your Q School space from the European side of things. You're going to be picking up a good haul of points, which should get you through. Maybe just one more point on the board will make you safe, but you don't want points when you can get your place booked directly, and that's what happens in the round of 16. Win that and you're into stage 2. You get 2 days off guaranteed. I think one thing that stands out looking at the last 16, German dominance throughout the event. And when we take a look at the players that got through, quite a few of them getting through already, and a lot of them picking up some good points. We've got quite a lot here in the last 16. Mikkel Hunt, the Buckner, probably the biggest name of them in regards to what they've achieved already in the sport. Pratnam played well today, 90 average, near enough there. He's probably done enough, loads of leg difference. I think those players in the last 16 are already in, but not mathematically as such. Now, when we take a look at the players that have got through and have got through by right, getting through to the top 8 players, we do have a couple of German players through, but Max Hopp, winner of the European Tour, the first European Tour winner from Germany, 86, bang in the middle of where you need to be. He's going to be competitive if he can stay around that sort of level. He could get his tour card back. Could we have another Spanish player on the tour? We've had a couple of players, haven't we? The best, or the most successful one, Cristo Reyes, but it's been a while, really, since we've had one. We had Jesus Nogueira, didn't we, not too long ago? But we could be going back on course for another Spanish player on tour. They're the players that are through. I think, really, those 16 are. Not really to offer at this stage, really, because there's no real order of merit at the moment, because there's only been 1 day, 3 days within Group 1. I will let you know at this stage tomorrow who's going to be likely to get invited points, what points you need as well for the European Q School. I'll let you know that at the end of tomorrow's video, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will talk you through all the key talking points and stories. Is there someone you're watching? Let me know down in the comments section. I'll catch you tomorrow for another Q School roundup, both UK and in Europe.